Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another JVS movie review. Today we are bringing you another film from TIFF. This one is called You Are Not My Mother, and it stars Hazel Doupe and Carolyn Bracken. And this is directed by first-time director Miss Kate Dolan. And here's the quick synopsis. In a North Dublin housing estate, Char's mother goes missing. When she returns, Char is determined to uncover the truth of her disappearance and unearth the dark secrets of her family. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a horror movie. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a real horror movie. From setup to execution to performances, this is something I've been waiting for. Is give me an actual horror film. Now, this film is supposed to be based off of Ireland legend, and it works in spades as we are introduced to a baby at the beginning of this film in a wheelchair. A baby in a stroller, which is a baby wheelchair. I'm gonna say baby wheelchair, a stroller. And the baby's just on the street by itself. And then we see a woman come and take the baby towards a fire, and then something horrendous happens with the baby. And then we fade into the actual film. I mean, that's a heck of a way through the amazing cinematography, the total control of tone. The director here, Kate Dolan, for her first film, she has total control of everything with this film. And that is so surprising in a horror movie, because it's hard to get a horror movie director who understands that once you set that tone, you can never leave it. And if you do, you run the risk of throwing off your film. And she never does that here. These characters are highly engaging as we meet the young actress named Char. And then we meet her mom, who is supposed to, her grandmother gets her mom to take her to school one day. And then she could tell that something's wrong with her mother. So then after her mother goes missing and then miraculously comes back, you're left to wonder, is this her mother that's back? Or is this something else that has come back instead? And from there, we get the creepiness of this film. And this is where it's highly important that the director held forth with the tone of this film. The tone of that film at that point becomes extremely creepy. And it works wonders. And there are no jump scares in sight. This is just masterful setup of suspense and horror. And it works so well here. I don't know what else to say. It's just, again, you don't get these type of horror movies anymore. The old build-up type of horror movies, the adult fashioned horror films, where you don't need jump scares, you don't really need gore, you don't need any of that. All you do is need a setting, and you need to set the tone with it, and some great shots behind it. And that's what you get here, along with having this lore of this Ireland lore that comes behind it, and to possibly, if you chose to read up on exactly what this is and how this works. And it just is amazing to me that they pulled this film off, because I wasn't expecting much from this film going into it. But halfway through it, I understood exactly that I was watching a really good horror film. By the end of it, which is not normal also. Normally we get a letdown, especially in horror movies, by the third act. This film does not let you down with the third act. It actually ramps it up to a level that you're not expecting. And this movie just has so many different elements in it. It has the horror elements. It has the family elements. It has the elements of mental illness in this film. It has so many different elements that work in this film that if you pulled one away or two away, the film would still work as whatever other avenue they decided to go down with it. And that's what makes this film really, really good. And something that I think if you are a lover of horror movies, you're definitely going to need to check out whenever this film gets distribution, which it will definitely get distribution, probably like a IFC collaboration, maybe a Shudder collaboration. But this is definitely something someone's going to pick up and really push hard, because this movie is really good. So, You Are Not My Mother, brought to you by the Toronto Film Festival. out of a possible 10, I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. This is a horror moment for me in this film festival, because it's been other horror movies for this film festival, and none of them have executed as well as this one is executed. This one is great. Kate Dolan, again, this is her directorial debut. She has a really bright future in horror, in directing in general, but definitely in horror, because this was very good. Even the young actress, Hazel Doupe, in this film, she's really good. And just the way that she's able to play with her facial emotions at times in this film works wonders. I say, man, it feels like you're watching a veteran horror movie filmmaker work with an actress who's been in multiple horror films before, so they know how to react with one another. And just, again, to find out that, no, this is the director's directorial debut, that just speaks wonders of her execution in this film, and it is something great to watch. This has been another JVS movie review. Peace, people.